Let's try the same thing again, and we'll go the opposite direction. We'll go from a decimal number to a binary number. Remember, we have the decimal numbers here on the left-hand side. And I put 2 rows for each analysis. I think that will help a little bit. Decimal numbers are regular numbers that we use every day. Binary numbers are the ones the computer uses. And we have the same kind of chart across the top exactly that we used in the first half where we were converting binary to decimal. I'll show you something else about that later, but it's the same exactly. That's why I did it this way. 2 to the 0 equals 1. Anything to the 0 equals 1. Anything to the first power equals 2. 2 to the second power, or 2 squared, equals 4. 2 to the third power, or 2 cubed, equals 8. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, same as we just did. So now we'll start with this number 100, and this time you need probably some scratch paper beside you, and maybe you need a calculator or not. So what we're going to do is start with this first number, and we'll say the 2 to the 7th power is 128. Do we have a 128 in 100? No, skip it. So we come over to the next number, which is 64. 2 to the 6th is 64. Is there 64 in 100? Yes, there is. So we'll put down a number 1 in that slot, and I wrote 64 beside it so I don't confuse myself. And then I said, okay, how much is 100 minus 64? Well, the answer is not 62, obviously. I guess I can't do subtraction, can I? So I'll fix that. Anyway, and then you keep going. So now we have 36 left. So is there 36? I might as well just fix it right now, hadn't I? 36. Shame on me. Okay. So here now, is there a 32 in 36? Well, yes, there is. We have 132 in 36. And so we'll do our math problem of 36 minus 32, and we have 4 left. Is there a 16 in 4? No. Leave it as 0. Is there an 8 in 4? No. Leave it as 0. Is there a 4 in 4? Woohoo! Yes, there is a 4 in 4. So we'll put that down and subtract it. And now we have 0 left. And obviously there's no 2's and there's no 1's because we used them all up. So now we have 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. How many 1's does it have? Boy, I can't even do that right, can I? It has 3 1's. 3 1's. Right here. And how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Guess I must have been loopy when I did this, huh? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros, and 1, 2, 3 1's. There, look, you see? So converting from decimal 100 to binary gives us 0110, 0100. And you can say, what number is in the 2 squared or 2 to the second power slot? Well, there's a 1 in that slot. And what number is in the 2 to the third slot? There's a 0 in that slot. And what number is in the 2 to the 7th slot? It's a 0 in that slot. Remember, I did that just so you have to actually fill out the form. You can't cheat. All right, here we go. Let's do number 140. 140. And what's our first number up here? 128. Is there a 128 in 140? Well, yes, there is. So 140 minus 128 equals 12. Good. I'm going to zoom out so I don't make you dizzy. Let's go 64. Is there a 64 in 12? No. Is there a 32 in 12? No. Is there a 16 in 12? No. Is there an 8 in 12? Yes. So here across here, we were looking for a 4. We had 12 left. So here's an 8. So yes, there's a 1 there. And now we do the subtraction problem. 12, which was left over from here, 12 minus the 8 from this column equals 4. All right, so now 4 is the number. Is there a 4 in 4? Yes, there is. So we'll put down a 1, and then we'll say that 4 that's left over minus this 4 from this column equals 0. Oh, there's no 0, there's no 2's in 0, and there's no 1's in 0, so we're done. So we had 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, and this number, I didn't get this one right either, has 3 1's and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 3 1's and 5 zeros. So those are the common questions I might ask you on the test. And I might say, and what number do you have? I'll do this row. What number do you have in the 2 to the first slot? I have a 0. And what number do you have in the 2 to the third slot? I have a 1. I don't have an 8. I have a 1 because we're converting to binary. So the number that's in the 8's slot, if you will, would be 1. Not meaning to confuse you then. Here are some examples, and here are the answers for them. So then let me do this. The same thing with decimal. Please don't get worried. This is not math class. You don't have to understand it. Math, you have to understand it. So anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything to the first power is 10. Anything to the second power is 100. 1s, 10s, hundreds. So I'm not going to tell you the answer to this because some people will get that for a test question. But look, if you have this number is 500, 400, okay? If you have this number 400, you have a 0 in the ones place and a 0 in the tens place and a 4 in the hundreds place, and you know the number's 400. And if I add a 5 on there, what is that? What place is that? I'm not telling you the answer, but you know the answer to that. You know how much that number is. Just say it to yourself. You'll get it. So here we have the same thing we did up here in this chart, the same exactly, except we're putting decimal numbers in it. So if I have the number 5, then I have 5 1's and 0 10's and 0 hundreds. And the number 83 is 3 1's. We start from the right-hand side because those are the smallest numbers. And 8 10's and 0 hundreds. And then this number is 230. We have 0 1's and 3 10's and 2 hundreds. Makes 230. So I might ask you, and if you had that number, what is in the tens slot, which is 10 to the first slot, and it would be the number 3 that's in that slot. Same exact thing as we did up here, except it's using decimal numbers instead of binary numbers. Do a little practicing. You might get somebody to sit down and practice with you too. Drill you, kind of idea. Yep. And then there are some more videos to look at right down here. Plus I gave you examples of the kinds of questions I might ask you on the little quiz type activity. But if you've done your charts here, then you'll be able to do the activity.